Kevin Rowland may be new to many of you. I didn't talk about my background. I'm literally, you all know I was born at a Chinese hospital. But in addition to that, I've worked with 6 different health plans: Kaiser, 2 Blues, Group Health, and a startup, a Medicare Advantage startup. But I'm really happy to be back in this delivery system. Kevin Rowland's been in the industry. Are you going to talk about your background? I'll let you do it. All right.
Way too long.
Okay, sorry.
Started in this business in 1980. I was 6 years old. I worked for many more health plans than Larry because I'm older than him. But I was born in San Mateo, raised in Concord, but just came back to the community 3.5 years ago and really enjoying it to be back. Joining CCHP, part of the reason they brought me on was to change the sales model. Traditionally, CCHP was a sales force of a couple of people responding to local interactions, but they weren't engaged in trying to drive the broker community as a distribution model. And we're going to leverage our distribution, become broker-centric. You're all here, and we want to share the story today and hopefully give you some enthusiasm to push even more. As far as our portfolio, we are in the Medicare space. We have the individual, we have the Medicare Advantage, and also the dual for the Medicare and Medi-Cal populations. We just sell this direct. We don't use the broker community for this. A lot of reasons to keep this in-house because of CMS oversight. We are in the small group, large group in the labor trust business. We've had great success with the labor trust business, and we see that growing as well. The local 665 has 2,000 union members in San Francisco County. And they're doing a special open enrollment just for us mid-year because our price point is so much better. You've all probably heard about our success with Covered California on the individual side. SHOP has not been as impressive for us. Part of that is the platform, the SHOP platform. We allow membership if you live and or work in our service area. So we understand their current rate model, it doesn't support that. So if your employer's in San Francisco but you live in Oakland, it wouldn't let you sign up. Or if your employer's in Oakland and you live in San Francisco, the system would block you. So we're trying to work through that. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the Medicare plans. Our traditional Medicare Advantage plan is a premium plan at $40 a month. There are plans out there, 0 premium. We have a little bit better benefits, thus a little premium, but for some seniors, especially those that feel they're healthy, they don't see a need to pay a premium. We have our duals, as we call them, the people that are Medicare, Medi-Cal eligible. It's a 0 premium plan. We have a tremendous success there, and that supports the mission of the hospital. The hospital grew up out of serving the needs of a low-income immigrant community, is where its origins came from, and the board is still very much committed to that mission, and that's part of this. Why did we get into Covered California? Well, it followed that mission. Covered California was going to serve a population that was low income, subsidized premiums, so it fit well with where the hospital and the health plan grew up. I believe management is very happy they made that decision, as we'll get into in a minute. Just want to mention that we have off-exchange products. You have your on-exchange products, the metal plans. We also offer what we call our gemstone, or I call them the semi-precious gem plans, opal, jade, amber. What you'll find different about those plans is that their actuarial value is slightly higher than the metal plans. The tiered plans are slightly richer plans. And that really comes into some lower copays and a 0 copay for labs. Also on those plans, it's tiered for the hospital, so if you use Chinese hospital, it costs you less. Obviously, since the hospital owns us, we want to drive as much admissions and services as we can to our friends. It's amazing what has happened with our enrollment with Covered California. This was a snapshot back at the end of November. You can see that we had 26% of the subsidized business in San Francisco County. Kaiser at that time was 32%. We were pretty excited about this. We thought we were really kind of driving the market pretty well. Well, this is the end of February. Look for Chinese Community Health Plan, 33% of the market share. We're at 14,000 lives in San Francisco County right now. When they set upon this journey, they were thinking maybe they'd get 5. Not 5 lives, but 5,000. Other small regional plans in our community, like Contra Costa Health Plan, I think they got 600. We are the poster child of success for ACA and a regional plan. We've gotten national attention out of this. In San Mateo County, remember we're only covering half that county, we got about 10%. So it kind of makes sense. But we're excited about this success. And really, what drove this success? Well, here you can see the other part is the sales guy. This is really good to show management. The line's going up. In fact, our marketing manager was in an interview on a national press release recently about our success. And he said, oh yeah, our sales manager hasn't made, he already made his number for the year. Well, Larry and the rest of senior management aren't going to let me rest on my laurels or the team's laurels. So, but we're excited. And this number is, you saw this was enrolled in 12,008. As part of the process of Covered California Lives, and it trickles down to affect you and your customers. Somebody goes online, they do the magic, they hit the button, and you're going, well, where's the enrollment? Well, from there it goes to CalHears. And CalHears pushes over a file to us electronically called the 834, which we have to dissect, upload. Then we have to figure out, send out invoices, waiting for people to pay their premiums, to effectuate their coverage, to get out ID cards. You can see that it's a laborious process. And all of those steps, one thing that impacts you is until all those steps are done and we've got our premium, can we effectuate and then pay you your commissions? So you probably have said, hey, I signed somebody up in January, I haven't seen anything. I'm going to talk about it a little more. We're implementing a new commission payment system. New systems, when you hit the street, are never perfect, okay? But checks are going out, they're going out quicker. We're catching up on the lives that were missed. So I appreciate patience and understanding, but I've heard our competitors weren't much better than us on accommodating a new membership from Covered California, effectuating it, paying commissions, and we know that we did a better job answering the phone. Did I say that? Bad Kevin. Another interesting phenomena is, you know, Chinese Community Health Plan has always had this, this brand that is just for the Chinese community. And our enrollment really kind of supported that brand identification, that until recently we were 90% people who identify as Chinese. Well, let's see what happened with Covered California. It's only 2/3 of the enrollment. We're changing the face of the health plan. It's becoming more of a CCHP, the Chinese community. What drives this success? What's driven this adoption of our plan? It's price. Plain and simple. You guys have witnessed this.
Yes.
And one question I keep getting, especially when I talk to our bigger broker friends in the community, who aren't familiar with us. They're saying, you buying business? In the last couple of years, you had a new health plan in California, C-Change come in with $400 million of venture capital money, and they had great prices, and then now I understand this last year or so, the increases were rather substantial. It's called buying business, getting market share. I would suggest to you that CCHP doesn't buy market share. We've been at this 25 plus years, and have always had this price position from everything I've seen and heard. And where does that come from? Number one is, let's put it quite clearly, we're cheap. If you come to our offices on Grant, they're not big fancy edifices to health care like you see on Beale Street. Poke friends at my friends, my friends at Shield. We're very humble in the way we spend the money. If you go to some of our physicians' offices in Chinatown, they're not fancy places. I recently became a member of CCHP, and I have to pick a primary care physician. We are a gatekeeper model. So I picked Dr. Kwan. I go to his office, and it's a simple office. This gentleman, this doctor who's UC trained and a fellow in the College of Cardiology, is taking my blood pressure for my physical. What kind of quality of care is that? I think it's pretty good. It's a different delivery system. And that's how we maintain our price point. And so we're not buying market share. Our trend this year is 8%. It's been under double digit for as long as Larry can remember. And what that drives is a continuing disparity between our premiums and our competitors. I was recently at an open enrollment. I went with, I hope everybody met our sales associates, Yolanda, Gina, and Jack. If you haven't, please make sure you do before you leave. I was at an open enrollment with Jack recently. Our premiums were half of Kaiser's. It's amazing. So I'll get off that bandwagon, sorry. Oh! Nice segue. This was a quote from a VP of one of these pricing consumer tool analytics services, saying we're miles ahead of our nearest competitor. In the same article, she said we are one of the lowest cost health plans in the entire United States. And this is not an inexpensive market for delivery of health care. So you guys have written business with us. You've witnessed the fact that no matter what plan level you're on, we've got the lowest rate. And that's going to continue, we believe. No reason it's not going to. Now, I want you to all get your glasses out. We're going to, this is a vision test. Anybody's? No. I'm not going to make you read this nor go through this. This is a sampling of our individual IFP plans on and off exchange. You've got the materials in front of you. I'm not going to bore you with getting into that. But on our off exchange plans, you'll see, for instance here, Jade, it's a lower copay to use Chinese hospital. Amber, lower copay. So we are going to drive to our friends. Non-shop employee group eligibility. We are going to mimic Covered California and shop for eligibility. So you don't have to remember two different sets of eligibility rules. We're going to follow their lead. Real simple. Remember, it's important, live and or work in the service area. You know, for instance, at that recent open enrollment, one lady says, well, my company's here in San Francisco I work for, but I live over in Marin. Can I join? I said, heck yeah. She goes, oh, plus I want to use that acupuncture services. We cover 18 visits a year. That alone, she said, I don't care about your price point. That's cool. I want it. You know, the shop, like I said, we were selected. We're underwhelmed with our response that we've gotten in membership on that. I'm having lunch later today with Sean Ballston from Pinnacle, from Shop, to talk about what may be driving that. I think it's a system problem. Group plans, again, on and off exchange. Similar experience if you use Chinese hospital on our semi-precious gemstone plans. It costs less. Non-shop group. The big thing here is business 6 months or more. We're going to 1 to 50. We're following the state code for small group. Enrollment participation 1 to 5, 100%. Pay attention to this. Groups of 6 to 20, we only have to have 50%. 21 plus 30%. On your large group, we live on slice business with large group, alongside Kaiser or whatever. We don't go in and say we have to have 20, 30, 40% to play the game. This little health plan has lived off a slice alongside Kaiser for many decades. So if we get 5%, Okay, we're cool with that. We get 10. So don't discount us because you don't think you'll get enough people to enroll. We want as many as we can get at the same time, mind you. We have a PPO plan that is currently sold in the individual space. Yeah, we also have it filed in the group space. It's interesting, Friends in Sacramento approved the rates but have yet to approve the benefits, which is ironic because you think they're kind of intertwined. They actually already came back and said, well, you need to change your benefits, but you already approved the rates. So stay tuned. But one of the key things here, if you are selling the PPO plan, how many have gone out, you sold a PPO plan and your customer used an out-of-network provider and were surprised by the balance billing? Anybody had any of those experiences? With our plan, the out-of-network reimbursement is negotiated with the provider to protect your member from balance billing if they go out of network. That can be key. That's an advantage over our competitors because most of our competitors are doing it upon allowable. And for most health plans, in my experience, allowable equals what they would pay in network, so they're chopping deep. And the balance billing can be significant. Our advantage, our local value propositions were local or hospital-based. We do have different plans. We're going to continue to offer different plans. We were meeting yesterday, I believe, and next year we'll be offering HSA qualified plans in the group space. So that would be something especially for you with high professional organizations that have high net worth individuals who are looking for tax advantages to tie to their health insurance. And we're going to continue to have low rates and drive our quality. Having that 4-star rating with CMS is incredibly important. And the thing that may be a barrier to a 5-star rating is actually a cultural thing because of our high Chinese enrollment. In the Chinese community, nothing is ever a 10. They might give you an 8. There's a bias. You can always do better, right? You can always do better. Nobody is quite good enough. Well, this bias comes through in the surveys. And, CMS recognizes this. We know it. We talk in the community. They know it. They're like, so that's maybe our barrier to a 5-star or something as culturally driven as that. But that's life. But quality is incredibly important. It is an integrated system. We are continuing to look to add providers to the network. And again, we've got the PPO product coming off exchange. This gets me to another one for anybody doing business in San Francisco in the group space and you're dealing with the healthcare security ordinance. Anybody having to deal with that? See a couple of hands. Well, up until this year, you could just do a standalone HRA and satisfy the healthcare security ordinance. But our friends in DC killed that because now you can't do a standalone HRA. And for a lot of employers, that forces them to pay that hourly rate into the city plan with no way of ever getting the money back. I would suggest to you a nice strategy because of our price point is you have the employer buy a bronze level plan. Our prices are so low, at $2.40 an hour, a single rate of $374. You can cover everybody up through age 53 for under $2.40 an hour. For those under that age, the difference you put into a standalone HRA, you could do it for just dental and vision if you wanted to, and set it up so there's no rollover and you scoop the money back at the end of the year. It's not money that's just forfeited. This is a possible strategy for you. And this leads to the next thing that the Tuesday night before our first meeting, I was laying in bed thinking about this business and it's really sick. After 34 years at this, I guess it's just bound to happen. How many of you are involved in consumer-directed plans, HSAs, HRAs? If you're not, it's something to think about. If you look at the national trends, the people with the crystal balls, that's where the market is going. And in doing that, and part of that is moving to higher deductible plans with an employer-funded subsidy of some sort. Well, you know, if you look back 10 years ago when HSAs came out, the carriers came out with compatible plans, and you had this big premium difference, premium delta, 30, 40%, right? And HSAs looked like a great deal. Within a couple years, the carriers said, are we giving away money? No, they said the utilization warranted the rates, but that premium delta collapsed. And it no longer left enough money for that employer to fund HSAs. If you look at our premium deltas on our plans from top to bottom, we have a 50% differential. We have the premium delta to support consumer-directed care. Wednesday I asked for a show of hands, and I'll do it now. How many people would be interested in a CE class on consumer-directed care and how to do HRAs? Outstanding. We'll be putting this together very shortly. We'll have CE credits, and we'll show you how to tie the health reimbursement arrangement to our plans that can make great economic sense to your customers. We are truly different from our competitors in having that premium delta. And I was so surprised when I joined the plan and I started getting into this detail. 50 percentage points from top to bottom? Wow, that's unheard of. All right, I talked about the fact that we're moving to a broker-centric delivery system. Part of that is joining up and being friends with some select general agents. And we have today here our good friends from Claremont. Key thing here, there's a couple of pending contracts, but Claremont stepped to the plate and they executed a contract. We're very proud of that. We've got a big team here. Michael, do you want to make a few comments about your organization and our relationship? This is Michael Trainer, the president of Claremont.
Thank you, Tom.